Welcome back. The drought, bushfires and global uncertainty have delivered a big blow to our nation's budget. The Treasurer has been forced to slash the expected surplus by $2 billion this year.
Now, wages are also down and aren't expected to recover anytime soon. It's grim news for the states too. They're set to lose billions in GST revenue. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg joins us now live from Canberra. Treasurer, boy, these figures at this time of year don't paint the brightest of pictures. How would you describe the mid-year budget?
I would describe them as being showing that Australians can be confident about their economic future, because it shows that the budget is now back under control and we're living within our means, that we're investing record amounts in infrastructure as well as guaranteeing the essential services that people need and rely upon, like school funding and hospital funding and support for the NDIS.
Treasurer, you've been accused of being obsessed by a surplus. Unemployment is sitting at 5.2%. The Reserve Bank wants that to drop closer to 4%. So rather than delivering a surplus, don't you need to start spending on some big ticket projects, try and stimulate jobs and boost wages?
Well, when you talk about the labour market, it's actually been very strong. When we came to government, unemployment was 5.7%. Now it's down to 5.3%, and more than 1.4 million new jobs have been created. And Australia has been going forward. Our economy has been growing, while other major economies like the United Kingdom, like Germany, Singapore and South Korea all went backwards for a quarter this year. Now, when it comes to the surplus, we're paying down debt just like your viewers will be paying down their mortgage over time, and our interest bill on our debt last year was $19 billion. That's money that goes to pay bondholders overseas or here in Australia, rather than going to important investments in our domestic economy. So we pay down our debt, and that debt bill will come down to $14.5 billion over the next few years, freeing up more money to spend it where the economy needs it.
Treasurer, how much confidence do you think this gives ordinary Australians? Do you think it'll make them want to get out there and spend?
Well, obviously they're getting more money in their pockets courtesy of the tax cuts, and we saw in the most recent national accounts household disposable income have its biggest jump in a decade. But ultimately it's up to the individuals as to whether they spend or whether they save. That's a choice for them. But what we will see over time is if they pay down their debts today, that will free up more money to spend tomorrow.
OK, moving on now, an Olympic champ Ian Thorpe is heading a campaign opposing your government's proposed religious discrimination bill. Let's have a look.
A bill has been drafted that threatens to divide our communities. The religious discrimination bill will give people a licence to discriminate.
The bill would mean we're less protected under the law. It will leave us all vulnerable.
What constitutes discrimination today will be considered okay tomorrow. It will take away your rights at work, at school and in hospitals when people say offensive things. Equally.
Now, Treasurer, the ad features a young disabled girl saying it's not okay for my disability worker to tell me my disability is the work of the devil. It also features a young dad who says it's not okay for a teacher to tell my daughters that my ex-wife and I are still married in the eyes of God. Will your amendments to the religious discrimination bill mean under law that it's okay to say those kinds of things?
What our bill will do is actually protect people of faith and ensure that they're not discriminated against. And just like there's other protections, so there's no discrimination against gender or there's no discrimination against in other areas, this is about protecting people's religious freedoms.
Yeah.
It was a policy that we took to the election. We're consulting, as you know. We put out discussion papers. We're getting a whole lot of views back. I absolutely respect Ian Thorpe. But at the same time, we believe this bill will support people of faith and give them important protections.
All right, Treasurer, thanks very much for your time this morning.
We appreciate it.
Good to be with you.
Well, it's that time.